What's up, y'all? Anthony here with the Weird Crew Podcast. How are y'all doing? How's life? I hope you're doing good because I got a very special episode for you today. And even if you're not doing good, this episode is going to put you in a good mood. I promise. Early last year, I was a guest on a podcast called Around The Emirates with Sara Mousa, and I had a great time. That episode is actually on YouTube in video form. If you want to see my face for whatever reason, I'll have that linked in the description of the episode. But I told Sara, I was like, hey, since I came on your podcast, I think it'd be cool if you came on my podcast, don't you think? And Sara was like, hell yeah, man, let's do this shit. And so that's what we did, and that's what you are getting today. Go follow the podcast on Instagram at Weird Crew Podcast. Go follow the Cigar Lounge on Instagram at W Crew Cigar, and then go follow me on Instagram at Weird Anomaly. There are ways you can support the show if you wish to do so. You can buy a t-shirt on our Teespring store. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/Weird Crew, where you can make a one-time donation if you deem me worthy of your support. Or, even better than that, if you want to send me some cash in the mail, that's fine too. Large bills only. Seriously, though, the best thing you can do to support the show is just share it. It doesn't cost you anything to share this, and it means the world to me. So get on social media and start sharing. You know I love y'all. Please, please, please leave the podcast a 5-star review wherever you listen to your podcast so new people can find out about the podcast. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and hop into this episode with Sara. You're going to love this one, and drop my beat. Yo, what's up, everybody? Anthony here from the Weird Crew Podcast. I got a guest. This guest has been begging to come on my podcast for years now.
Oh my God.
And you were finally here. Sara, what's up?
Hey, Anthony. First of all, I have not been begging you, but thank you for the beautiful introduction.
Yeah, I know. It just sounds better. It
So
makes
much
me feel more
way.
important. It makes me feel more important to think that someone was begging to come on my podcast. But
Hilarious.
No,
you
were not begging.
This is Sara from Around the Emirates podcast. Thank you for having me. Really good to be here.
Yes, and I've been on your podcast too.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there for those that don't know.
There's the plug.
Go back and listen or watch that episode. It's one of the few episodes that I've done in video format where you could see my face.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. I think last time we talked about kind of starting a podcast during COVID and kind of your job, like, your experience being a flight attendant and that kind of stuff. It was a good episode. I remember it.
Yeah, no, good times. But you were in the Emirates. You were in Dubai, right?
I'm in Abu Dhabi, but yeah, I'm in the UAE.
Okay, all right. Essentially, like, you can drive to Dubai.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm like an hour and so away from Dubai.
So let me ask you this, and maybe this is the first time you've ever been asked this. Maybe it's not. I don't know, but I like to ask the tough questions. Living in the Emirates, do people ever think you're American?
100% every day. I am the weirdest person to talk to in the UAE because Arabs think I'm trying to be Arab, like when I'm like with my accent, and in Egyptian, it's so westernized. And then when I go to Egypt, they think I'm Canadian and trying to like it's a weird. And then I go to Canada, and they're like, "No, you're not Canadian. Where are you from? No, you're not. You're American, right? Which part of the States are you from?"
So it's a weird thing, right? You're kind of just in the mix of it all, I guess.
Yeah, no, identity for me is one of the most difficult things to talk about just because I don't know how to explain it. If somebody says, "Where are you from?" I don't know how to answer that question properly without going into like, I was born here and I was raised here. Like, I've been in a country for over 20 years that is not my home country.
That's pretty crazy when you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Because... Yeah. I mean, you're still relatively young, so
I know, right? It's like I've been here since I was like 9.
to put into perspective, like when you say like 20 years and you see someone and they're like all, weathered with their beard and their gray hair and stuff, but when they
definitely don't
see
have a
you,
big
it's
gray
like,
hair. But I know I'm 20. I'm 28. That's why it's like most of my life has been here.
Are you 28?
Yeah, I'm turning 29 soon, but yeah, I'm 28.
So what's that? 1994.
Good math.
Yeah. 6 years before that, a legend was born.
Who?
Me. The legend was me, and I was born in a hospital in Alabama. So
Alabama.
Here I am, and here you are, and it's kind of crazy. The one cool thing about podcasting is you can be over there and I can be over here and we can still make content. And it's pretty cool to be able to have these conversations with people that live in different parts of the world and hear their perspectives. And it's even more unique, hearing it from your perspective because you're Canadian, probably get confused with American.
Yep.
Living in Dubai, but it is very much, or Abu Dhabi, Emirates is very much is your home. It is your podcast around the Emirates.
Literally.
So yeah, literally. How many episodes have you done?
Well, funny that you should ask that. This weekend, I'm about to post my 60th episode.
60. Wow.
Yeah.
You've done more than me now. Wow.
I mean,
that's pretty wild.
I just celebrated 2 years last month.
It's what happens when you stay consistent, folks. Don't be a procrastinator like me. Yeah. I don't know what y'all want from me. All right. I'm working hard over here. Trying to make it happen. But I've taken breaks here and there from podcasting, but I always find my way back to it. And now it feels kind of good to be back into the rhythm of things because I very much enjoy making podcasts and just, different types of content. There's so many things that I'm working on here now that I'm able to, now that I have a spot, so I record everything from my cigar lounge now.
Tell me about your cigar lounge. So, I haven't asked about this.
The listeners don't know. It's midnight here right now, and it's 8:00 in the morning where you are.
Yes.
So sometimes you got to find these weird times to make it happen with different people across the world. But we figured it out, right?
100%.
We figured it out. No back and forth. We made it happen.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that it is important to take a break in podcasting every now and then. I haven't had the balls to do that just yet, but I do think that it's important to take a break so that you remember why you're doing it and the passion that you have for it, and not for the sake of it.
Sarah, I lost you. Are you alive?
Oh, you lost me?
You are still out there somewhere, I imagine, talking.
Can you hear me?
But I can't hear you.
What just happened?
Maybe we should have done a Zoom like you originally suggested, but
my voice is recording here. Option. This is the weirdest thing.
Okay, yo, everybody, listen, check it out. We are back. All right. I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna blame it on that Emirates that Sarah's connected to. It seems like an easy scapegoat.
All right. As the bigger person, I will not comment on what you just said, so we shall continue.
Oh no. Shots fired. So what's been up? How is life? How is work? How is podcasting?
How is podcasting? That's a good question. So yeah, I was just saying that I recently celebrated 2 years of the show, and this weekend I'm coming out with my 60th episode. Or by the time this episode comes out, you will have surpassed my 60th episode. It's been quite the journey. I've learned a lot about video editing. I learned a lot about how to kind of keep things interesting, how to always captivate the audiences, get their attention. I think one challenge that I have in general is how to cut through the noise, break through all of the Instagram posts that people see on a daily basis and get them to pay attention to my posts. So I think that's something that I'm still learning.
Yeah, it's a big learning curve if you've never done it, and guests are one thing, but you got to be able to ask the guests questions that are entertaining for both you and the audience. It has to be an engaging conversation.
Yeah.
So picking the right guest is very important. Sometimes just having a guest for the sake of having a guest maybe isn't the best idea. Maybe take a week off, recharge the batteries. I've done that. But you seem to be rocking and rolling, and you've been very consistent, and that's something that I applaud you for. I wish I was as consistent as you are. So
thank you.
I mean, I really do appreciate the fact that you have stayed true to your formula. You stay busy, you stay releasing episodes, and you stay promoting your show. And, everything that you do is pretty dang good. You're pretty good at this, Sarah. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Thank you. Wow, is that a whole compliment for somebody in the Emirates? Wow, what's happening with you right now?
well, from American to American, we got to look out for each other.
Oh my God, I'm not American. Leave me alone. No, I do appreciate the love. I mean, I would definitely not have been able to get to this point without the support of my friends. I've learned something from different people. I mean, for example, when you do the mini intro, the name and title of the person, when it pops up when you introduce them on the show, that didn't even occur to me. So my friend was watching one of my episodes and she said, I can barely hear what the person is saying. Like I can hear it, but like it goes by quickly and then I forget what their name and designation is. So you should put like a little title thing to show what their name and title is and what company they work for. So I remember it when it pops up. Little things like that you don't think about. People will be like, actually, did you know that you could do blah, blah, blah? And this will actually make things a lot more clear for the audience. And I'm like, actually, you're totally right.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I'm not above taking constructive criticism or suggestions. Just sometimes people are like, "Ooh, let me help grow your podcast. Let me help grow your Instagram page."
Yeah, I hate that spam shit.
They got like 30 followers, and I'm like, "You're not gonna help me grow anything." Like, bro, like I got more followers than you. Like,
Fair.
why would I pay you money?
Fair.
Like, yeah, do you want my social security number? Do you know what that is? Do you know what a social security number is,
I
sir?
know what that is. I do have like people that live in the States that I know. I do
Okay.
understand.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
But how do you deal with the question like what's the end game with your podcast? How do you deal with that question?
What's the end game?
Yeah,
Man,
what are you trying to get to with it?
I don't know. Freaking, I think we talked about this before. $100 million Spotify deal, something like that. Just
okay. Well, until that happens,
I'm gonna keep having fun, and I'm gonna keep talking to people that I want to talk to, and keep having cool conversations, and hopefully the people that listen to it enjoy it, and they can take something away from it. But more than anything, and this may be a little selfish, I do this for me, and I
hear that.
I kind of always have. It's in a lot of ways a form of therapy for me to be able to get on here and release something and put myself out there and talk to different people. I very much enjoy it. I really do. And I'm always happier when I am consistently podcasting as opposed to when I'm not consistently podcasting. I'm much happier when I'm podcasting, for sure.
Right. I do feel like a sense of, I don't know if it's like kind of endorphins or something, but I do feel a sense of accomplishment after I've done an interview. I feel like I've gained something from myself, as you're saying. I also feel like the goal is to have as many episodes recorded as possible, right? So that you just kind of, put them out as and when you want to. So a sense of accomplishment of like, new episode, because it does take a lot to get there to create a new episode. And at the same time, for me, my therapy is speaking in general, whether it's like with friends or family or with an actual like qualified therapist. So I like the act of talking, if that makes sense.
You like hearing your own voice, and that's why you started a podcast.
I actually hate hearing my own voice. I just like talking. So go fly a kite.
Yeah. Do you have any interviews that you think, all right, I probably shouldn't have asked that, or probably could have approached that better? Is it been like a learning experience? Do you feel like you're in the zone now as opposed to when you first started?
That's a really good question. I do feel like I've done a lot better now. Like I'm in a much better, more comfortable, more secure place. At the very beginning, I would get nervous and I would just be like, what do I ask? Is this something that they would expect to be asked on like a show, like on a podcast? I will say that there are times like I'm still trying to strike the balance between going deep into the story without being too deep. And because for me, my episodes are about 15, 20 minutes long. It's not meant to be like a half hour or 30 minutes. Like I'm not like, a CEO podcast where people will stay dialed in past like 25, 30 minutes. So I will say I'm doing a lot better than before, like especially when it comes to introducing the show and connecting the dots between what the guest is saying. But I'm still trying to figure out the best way to bring out like the meat of the story without going into too many details and getting kind of sad in certain situations or just too heavy.
And do you do your podcast just in English, right? Or do you do Arabic as well?
I definitely do not do it in Arabic in any way, shape, or form. I'm never going to be there in life. Do you know how hard it is to do that stuff in Arabic?
No, that's why I asked.
It's very fucking hard. This is not an can I swear here on your show? I don't know if I can swear on your show.
Yeah, and in fact, I wasn't going to swear out of respect for you.
But wow, you're good.
Now that you've broken it up.
Sorry. Swearing is part of my soul, honestly.
No. This is very much a say what's on your mind podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what about you? Answer the same question.
I think I've only ever had three. Wait, what do I do podcasts in Arabic? No.
No, the question you asked me before. Sorry, I meant the one about like if you feel like you're in a good. You know what you asked.
I know. I'm sorry. I got to get you all flustered. I can't have you come on my podcast and not pick on you. It's not. It's just not. It's not the
That's
way
why
it's
we're
going to
doing
go.
this. That's why we're doing this.
That's why we're doing this. This is very very different from your style of interviewing.
Apparently so.
um, in terms of, do I feel I'm in a better place now, interviewing and
Yeah.
talking to people? I think I've always been pretty good at it, and I think. I mean, I just remember being a teenager and hearing interviews on the radio or watching an interview on Sports Center or whatever, and the interview asked someone a question. I'm like, why would they ask that? If I was interviewing this person, I would not ever ask that. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I would ask a good question. So,
Yeah.
being able to be in the driver's seat now, being able to be the one that asks the questions, I really feel comfortable doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but to answer your question, yes, I do think you still get better at it the more you do it, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Um, and, you never want to stop improving. Otherwise you're doing something wrong. So a year from now, yeah, I want the show to be better than it is today.
You want
In
that
a year,
Spotify contract?
I don't want it. I need it. All right. I got a certain lifestyle I got to live. All right.
I feel you. I feel you. I feel you.
No, I swear, you know, I swear I'm not trying to drive around in a Bugatti. All right.
I feel like you are, but it's
Um,
okay. I'm from Abu Dhabi. It's okay.
but yeah, I know y'all got Bugattis out there just chilling,
Literally, just
just
chilling. You got the
chilling
whole
out in
series.
the road, collecting sand. Uh I there are some rich folks over there, Sarah.
There
I mean,
are.
there
There
there are
are.
there are rich folks here too, obviously. But I think over here it's all about like expressing your net worth and stuff like that. And over there, it's kind of more like, well, let's just flaunt it, but let's not tell people how much money we have. Do you
I
feel that at all?
mean, I will challenge that. We don't necessarily like some. Not every. Firstly, there's a stereotype that everybody is like filthy rich. That's definitely not the case. There's just like
Wait,
everywhere
wait,
else. There's kind of middle lower
are
class.
are you not filthy rich?
No, I'm definitely not filthy rich, or else I wouldn't be doing podcasts. I would definitely be doing bigger things if I was filthy rich. I'll tell you that.
I hope you would still be doing podcasts even if you were filthy rich. I
I
really do.
mean, maybe as like a side hustle, but like it would definitely not be like my number one. But I mean, in general, like there's obviously like different classes, like social classes where you go. I mean, it's not just like there's the rich and that's it. Dubai definitely is known for being flashier, but that's definitely not like what the UAE is. That's not the heart and the soul of the UAE. It's much more of like a welcoming place that has like I think over like 90% of the population is expats. It's all about being welcoming and tolerant of different cultures, different nationalities, making everyone feel like they're part of a big family. And yes, there are some people that are definitely in like the upper echelon of like I'm filthy rich and like they like to post on Instagram, but that's not the representation of the UAE. The UAE is a home to everyone. That's the best way I can describe it.
And you're happy there, right?
I definitely would not be here for more than 20 years if I was sad. I'll tell you that. It's the best
That
place
that
to live.
that's a good answer, because and I asked that because a lot of people live in places for a long time, even if they're not happy, just because it's what they know. Um, so it's
Yeah,
good to know
100%.
that if you were not happy, that you would absolutely dip out.
No, 100%.
Oh,
I have no, like, this is not my country. I don't have any reason to stay here. If I wanted to find a job somewhere else, I would. If I wanted to go and move with my family somewhere else, I would. But the UAE has been so good to me, and I've been so, like, I've had everything I've needed here. I've had the best education here. Obviously, we don't pay a lot of taxes here, so you're able to save up a lot of money. I've been in a culture that is,
we talking about taxes now? Okay.
oh, well, I'm just saying that we don't have tax, we don't have income tax here for at the moment, knock
Yeah,
on wood, but we
yeah.
don't have to do that. So we have other
If I showed
taxes, just not that.
if I showed you what I paid in taxes every month, I'm not gonna say it on the podcast, but I'll just give you like a screenshot. You
And this is why you come and live in the UAE where you save money.
right. I don't
Honestly.
know. They don't have cigar lounges there, do they?
Of course they do. Well, do you really think that the UAE is just like like some camels and like tents in the desert?
Listen, I went to Tunisia and could not find a cigar.
Bro,
I
that
could
is
not
a
find a
whole different, that's not even in the same region.
I know, but I'm just saying that there is literally countries you can go to and not get your hands on a cigarette. Now there was a hookah lounge on every corner. If I wanted to, if I wanted to smoke the hookah, I was good. But to actually find a cigar in Tunisia, it wasn't happening. I should have brought my own, and I did not. And I learned the hard way that it ain't happening in Tunisia. So it's nice to know that when I go to Dubai, uh, I'm gonna be able to smoke me a Cuban and drink some bourbon
All
and
right.
rent a Bugatti for half a day.
Oh my! Well, you actually can do that here, by the way. That I will say, you can rent cars here, like a Rolls Royce or whatever. You'll see that often, people renting it out for like a day or something. I will say that.
Of course, and then they post it on Instagram like it's their car. You know.
Literally. Anyway, this has been a really fun chat about the UAE.
I know, but it is around the Emirates, and
It is around the
you have
Emirates.
certainly taken us around the Emirates in this episode. Uh, I'm so glad you came on the podcast. I'm so glad we got to chat it up. I know your time is precious, and it is early. It is early in the AM for you, and you have probably a full work day ahead of you.
100%. I gotta go make coffee.
So yeah. I feel that if I drink coffee now, I'd be up all night. So it's different regions.
Yeah, 100%. But thank you so much for having me. This has been really fun. I forget how fun it is to just like speak to a fellow podcaster, not have like a schedule in mind for like, bringing out a specific story and just like shooting the shit. So I really appreciate this.
Yes, shooting the shit. I dropped it because I had to drop a swear word as well. I can't have you swearing up a storm on my podcast and
I apologize. You're a gentleman, and I'm not acting like a lady right now. I apologize.
Sarah, plug your stuff before you get out of here and tell people where they can find you.
Well, basically, you can find me on Instagram, mainly YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts. So my handle is ATE podcast, which is Around the Emirates. So it's ATE, not 8, ATE, just FYI. You're not eating anything here. I get that a lot. But yeah, so if you find me on Instagram, it's Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa. And if you're willing to be on the show, even from the miles away that you are, send me a DM and we can make it happen. And
I'll definitely come on the show again. Just saying, if you ever want to do a
we'll
repeat,
see how I feel about you. We'll see.
Oh man, I'm just getting shit on today.
It's all right. It's going to continue.
It's all good. I'm going to post the episode that I did with you, the YouTube link in the description of the show notes. So if you guys haven't already seen that, then I encourage you to check it out. But we're going to get out of here. I got to go home and sleep. Sarah, you got a full work day ahead of you. So thank you for coming on, and we will definitely do it again one day.
Awesome. Thanks, Anthony.
All right. Take care.